You think you're broken. You think you're soft. You think you're behind. You think you're failing. You think something is wrong with you. But the truth? You're not weak. You're just disconnected from your own power. You've been trained to doubt yourself, conditioned to question yourself, programmed to minimize yourself, taught to shrink, taught to settle, taught to stay small, taught to play safe, taught to obey fear. You didn't lose your strength. You forgot who you are. Because strength doesn't disappear. It gets buried, covered, suppressed, muted, drowned by noise, drowned by comparison, drowned by opinions, drowned by failure, drowned by rejection, drowned by disappointment. You start measuring yourself by losses, by mistakes, by past versions, by other people's progress, by timelines that were never yours. And slowly, silently, your belief in yourself starts to rot. Not because you're incapable, but because you stop trusting yourself. Belief is fuel. Without it, even a strong engine won't move. A lion that doesn't believe it can hunt starves next to food. A soldier that doesn't believe in his training hesitates in battle. A warrior that doesn't believe in his blade dies with it in his hand. Strength without belief is useless. Potential without belief is paralysis. Power without belief is silence. You don't move because you don't trust yourself. You don't act because you doubt yourself. You don't commit because you question yourself. You don't push because you fear yourself. You don't try because you expect yourself to fail. Not weakness. Mistrust. You've been at war with your own mind. Every time you tell yourself, I can't. I'm not ready. I'm not enough. I'm not built for this. I don't have what it takes. I'm different. I'm behind. I always mess up. You reinforce a false identity. The mind believes repetition, not truth. Repetition. Say a lie long enough, and it becomes your reality. Say doubt long enough, and it becomes your personality. Say fear long enough, and it becomes your prison. But belief works the same way. Belief is built, not found, not gifted, not inherited. Built through action, through proof, through courage, through risk, through effort, through repetition, through showing up, through surviving pain, through standing back up, through doing the hard thing anyway. Belief is evidence-based. You don't believe in yourself because you haven't stacked proof. You haven't given your nervous system enough wins. You haven't shown your mind consistency. You haven't shown your soul discipline. You haven't shown your identity commitment. So your mind says, why should I trust you? You break promises to yourself. You quit on yourself. You abandon yourself. You betray yourself. You negotiate with comfort. You choose ease over effort. And then you wonder why confidence is gone. Confidence comes from self-respect. Self-respect comes from keeping your word to yourself. Discipline builds belief. Execution builds trust. Consistency builds identity. Pain builds certainty. You don't become strong by avoiding fear. You become strong by walking through it. You don't become confident by waiting. You become confident by acting scared. You don't become powerful by thinking. You become powerful by doing. Belief isn't a feeling. It's a decision, a choice, an identity, a stance, a standard. I move even when I'm afraid. I act even when I'm unsure. I show up even when I doubt. I push even when I'm tired. I go even when I don't believe yet. And slowly, belief follows action, not the other way around. Fire doesn't ask if it's hot. It burns. Storms don't ask if they're strong. They move. Lions don't ask if they're kings. They hunt. Warriors don't ask if they're ready. They fight. You don't need more motivation. You need more self-trust. You don't need more hype. You need more proof. You don't need more inspiration. You need more execution. Because every time you do the hard thing, you send a signal to your mind. I am reliable. I am capable. I am dangerous. I am disciplined. I am built for pressure. I am built for struggle. I am built for growth. And belief grows. Not emotionally, neurologically, psychologically, biologically. Your nervous system adapts. Your identity shifts. Your self-image upgrades. Your standards rise. Your tolerance for pain expands. Your confidence stabilizes. Your fear shrinks. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Real belief is quiet. It's calm. It's stable. It's grounded. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't seek applause. It doesn't beg approval. It moves in silence. It works in darkness. It builds in isolation. It grows in discipline. Because belief rooted in identity doesn't depend on outcomes. It depends on character. And character is built in suffering, in pressure, in resistance, in repetition, in endurance, in patience, in struggle, in sacrifice, in solitude, in silence. So stop calling yourself weak. You're not weak. You're untrained, undisciplined, unconditioned, disconnected, unprogrammed. But that's fixable. That's buildable. That's trainable. That's forgeable. That's transformable. Belief isn't a gift. It's a skill. And skills are built through reps, through action, through pain, through consistency, through execution, through standards, through identity. You don't need to feel ready. You need to move. You don't need to feel confident. You need to commit. You don't need to feel strong. You need to act strong. Because action creates belief. Belief creates identity. Identity creates destiny. And one day, you won't question yourself. You won't doubt yourself. You won't hesitate. You won't shrink. You won't flinch. You won't fold. You won't bend. You won't break. Because you'll know. Not think. Not hope. Not wish. Know who you are. What you're capable of. What you're built for. What you can survive. What you can endure. What you can overcome. What you can become. Not because life became easy, but because you became unshakable. Because belief is not hype. Belief is structure. Belief is discipline. Belief is action. Belief is identity. Belief is repetition. Belief is earned. And once you earn it, nothing can take it from you. If this message lit a fire in you, then it's time to act. Drop this in the comments right now. I believe in myself and I build my power daily. So that I know you stayed all the way till the end. And you will rise into your strength and become mentally unbreakable.